Hello and welcome to All Things Nitty's Crochet channel. This week's stitch is the Seedling Stitch, a beautiful and very easy 2-row repeat that gives you this effect of little seedlings sprouting from the ground. You will need to chain your initial chain quite loose using the multiple of 2 plus 2. So once you have your measurement to whatever size you want, add 2 extra. Your initial chain will be with the recommended hook for your yarn, and you will need to do that quite loose. Once you have your chain of 2 plus 2, we will begin. Okay, so we're going to begin at our foundation row. Once you have your chain, we're going to begin in the second chain from our hook. So not this one, we're going to go into the next, and we're going to start a full row of US single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next, yarn over and pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2. Continue to work a full row of single crochet to the end, and we will begin pattern row 1. Okay, so at the end of your foundation row, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Into that very first stitch, you're going to work a US half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over and pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now, the little pattern that we're going to make into the next stitch here, we're going to work a single crochet, half double crochet combo. So insert your hook through that stitch, yarn over and pull a loop through. You have 2 loops. Then yarn over, go back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull a loop through. Once you have 4 loops, you're going to yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and then chain 1. Skip 1. So we're going to skip this one, and into the next stitch we're going to repeat. You're going to insert your hook and pull a loop through. Now you're going to pull it up so that your hook can rest completely flat across the top, so it brings the loop quite long. But once you've done your single crochet, yarn over, go back into the same stitch and pull up another loop, and again pull it up so your hook's flat, and then yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1, skip 1, insert, pull up a loop, then yarn over, back into the same stitch and pull up another loop. Once you have 4, pull through all 4, and then chain 1. Skip 1, repeat, skip 1, repeat. Do that all the way across until you've got maybe 3 or 4 stitches left, and I'll show you how to end the row because it's slightly different. So continue working until you've got a few stitches left, and we'll finish the row together. Okay, so we've come to where we've only got 3 stitches left. You've just worked a cluster and a chain 1. You're going to skip 1, and in the next stitch we're going to repeat, but the very last stitch, the last cluster, you don't chain 1 at the end. So once you have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4, don't chain 1, and in this very last stitch here you're going to work a half double crochet. Make sure you've got your V. Okay, work a half double crochet, chain 1 and turn your work. Okay, so as you can see, we have these long loops here, and this is what we're going to use to build our pattern. But your first and your last stitch is just a single crochet through the stitch, and that keeps your edges really nice and straight. So it's a single crochet here. Now, here's this long loop here. You're going to pick that loop up, and then working into the working into the main row here, you're going to pick up just the front loop. So you picked up the long loop, you're going to go under just the front loop, and then work a single crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2. You now have your chain 1, and you're going to go right through that chain 1 and work a single crochet. Here's our next little cluster. So you have the long loop here, and then you're going to pick up just the front loop of the V from your main row. So pick up the long loop, front loop only, and work a single crochet. Single crochet through the chain 1. Now if you're finding that these chain 1s are hard for you to work into, you just make sure the next time that you make those quite loose. Moving on to the cluster, pick up your long loop and your front loop and work a single crochet. Picking up that loop is what makes the little design. So you can see here it looks like a little seedling that's just begun to sprout with 3 separate little stems. Okay, so again you're going to work through that chain 1. I'll show you this one more time and then you can finish the row. So pick up that long loop, pick up the front loop only, work a single crochet, and then work a single crochet through the chain 1 space. Continue to do that all the way across, and when you get to the second to last cluster, stop and we'll just go through the end of the row together. Okay, so I'm just about to work the second to last cluster by picking up the long loop and the front loop only. Finish with a single crochet, and then into this very last stitch here, you're just going to work a regular single crochet through the stitch and then chain 1. Turn your work and we're going to repeat pattern row 1. So that begins and ends with a regular with a half double crochet, my apologies, half double crochet at the start and end of your pattern. Into the next stitch here, making sure you go through both parts of the stitch now, you're going to work your cluster. So it's like a single and a half double mixed together, making sure you pull your loop long because that's what we use next row to pick up. So once you've done your single crochet, go in and do a half double, pick up, and then you have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. Now if you were finding it hard to get into these chain 1s, pull your yarn up ever so slightly and chain 1, and that just makes this stitch a little bit bigger for you to get into on your next row. So we've chained 1, we then skip 1. Here's our next stitch, we're going to repeat. So go through the stitch, pull up a loop, pull it up tall, yarn over, back into that same stitch, pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 4, chain 1, skip 1, repeat, pull up, yarn over, go back in, chain 1, skip 1, repeat. You're going to do that all the way across the row. Again, stop when you have 3 stitches left and we'll finish pattern row 1 repeat together. Okay, so I've got 3 stitches left. Going to skip 1, work the cluster but without the chain 1. So yarn over, go back in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. Don't chain 1 on this stitch. And here's your last. You're going to work a half double crochet through that stitch. Chain 1, turn your work, and we will recap pattern row 2. Into the first and last stitch, it's just a single crochet, making sure you're going through both parts of your little V. We're going to work the long loop pick up, so pick up your long loop and then the front loop only and work a single crochet. Into your chain 1, not under it, you're going to single crochet. Again, pick up the long loop, front loop, single crochet through it, through the chain 1. Repeat that all the way across the row, and I'll just show you quickly how to end pattern row, how to end this row again. Okay, so I'm just about to work the last cluster, picking up the long loop and the front loop only, single crochet, end the row with a regular single crochet through the stitch. Make sure you have both parts of the little V and single crochet. Now, if once you're finished your pattern, however long you want to make it, that's the row you would finish on. So you would finish after working pattern row 1. Working with this Lime brand yarn, it is just absolutely beautiful, and it really does highlight these little the seedling shape with your 3 little sprouting stems. So that was the Seedling Stitch. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, please leave me a like, a comment. Make sure you're subscribed as well, because that really does help the channel grow. And I hope to see you next Sunday. Bye.